Hello, friends. Namaste. Good morning or good evening, everyone. So, this is Lavanya. I live in Australia. So, I'll be the host for this session. So, with divine blessings of Dr. Brahmashi Pitamaha Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji, let us start our today's session. Namaste. Good morning or good evening, everyone. Today, we have Pyramid Master Neelima with us from Germany. Neelima is from Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. She is currently working as a data analyst and living in Germany for the past 3 years. She has been a lucid dreamer right from childhood and was introduced to meditation in the year 2004. She is an ardent lover of books. With the help of core principles of PSSM, that is meditation, Sajjana Sangatya, and books reading, she has found her true identity and follows her intuitions all the time. Neelima is currently spreading meditation in her local communities in Germany along with Madhu and Ram. So friends, join me in welcoming our master Neelima. Over to you, Neelima.
Hi, Lavanya.
Hi.
Thank you so much. That was really a beautiful introduction, and glad that you guys have invited me. And thank you so much for providing me this opportunity. Yes. So, friends, let me start a bit about myself. Although Lavanya has introduced about me, so yeah, as she said, like I'm Neelima. I'm currently living in Germany, and I have introduced to meditation by my parents actually in the year 2004. So just 1 second, friends. Sorry for the delay, friends. Yeah. So yeah, the thing is, I have been introduced to meditation in the year when I'm childhood, almost like when I'm in third standard. Yeah, when I'm in third standard. But the thing is, I was like doing meditation, um, and some rishi from Himalayas, my tuition teacher has welcomed the rishi. I don't know his name, sorry. And I have been introduced to meditation in third standard. It was the same Anapanasati meditation. But the thing is, like when I go home and when I started doing in the childhood, a voice is coming from the background like, Neelima, you have to get ready, you have to go to school. Now there is no time for meditation, blah, 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 all the things. So eventually I have to stop doing because since there is no knowledge for my parents, I cannot continue doing that from the childhood. And again, luckily, I have to say, my dad and my mom went to meditation and they experienced what is meditation and all, what is astral travel in the first sitting. And eventually they came home, and as usual, everyone spread in our local communities. They also said to me that, oh yeah, meditation is so beautiful. And I was like, no, why should I need to do if you tell me? No, I'm not going to do. and, and they said like, okay, it's your wish. And slowly they started discussing the experiences, what they got in meditation, what they have learned. And that's how slowly I said to myself, okay, my ego has to be dropped now. I need to enter because this is my path. All my things, like I don't know how to intake a medicine even now. I don't know how to go to like I don't also prefer to go to temples because I feel like God is there in everyone. So upon hearing all these things, I got like transformed myself. And I also don't like to eat meat, and which is what exactly people also do teach in meditation. So by hearing all these things, I was like overwhelmed and was fascinated to do meditation. And that's how I entered in 2004. And that's where my journey began. So from there, every day is a journey, and I have gone through a lot, have transformed myself a lot, and every day is a transformation for me. So let me also come back to today's topic, getting connected to our true self. So what exactly means true self? Like why we need to connect to ourselves? Because imagine nowadays in the pandemic times, we are going through a lot of fears are going, a lot of misconceptions are happening, and we don't know where the world is going. No one knows it. So especially in this time, we live in a society where different sectors of people live together, which means our mind is unconsciously, I mean subconsciously, affecting by the patterns of all the other people in our communities, which means somewhere we are also raised up with something like our patterns get disturbed. I mean, although we know that focusing on a single entity, what we thought is different when it comes to meditation. So this is why it's always important to connect to our true self along with meditation. Let me give you a small example. For example, we are always raised in a conditional patterns. When we are going to school, we always need to get the first rank. But do we really love the studies at that time? We don't know. We are only raised with the condition that, yes, we have to study because a rank is more necessary at that time. And after that, what we wanted to do, like for example, higher studies. But why you wanted to do higher studies? Is this really the required, or the parents have chosen the path, or among the path, we have chosen the best one? So these are the different kinds of things. And what we really wanted to do in our life, what our subconscious is really telling, what is the true essence of our life, we are missing right from the childhood. This is what we need to think, what we are. And along with the patterns that we grow, along with the experiences that we face, we will be losing. For example, a person has been damaged a lot by the society impressions. For example, they were blamed for every act. Imagine such kind of people never can welcome anyone to their life. But how they can come out of that traumatic situation? This is what our session is more now, and how we have to come back. Let me share with my example. So I have been to Austria for my master's, and I returned to India in 2013. After I returned to India, I was in a deep depression state. I never know why the depression has came to me, and I have locked in my room for 6 months, and I never even came out, even for the lunch or for dinner. The food is only coming to my room, but I haven't came out of my room. So during that time, what happened, everyone has pointed at me. Instead of thinking my state, everyone started to point at me like she's good for nothing. She can't do anything. She can't speak with people, which is not true. But the people have started pointing at me. And after 6 months, I again truly believed that, yes, I'm good for nothing. I was like fit for nothing. Somehow I believed myself that I'm good for nothing. But again, after 1 year of all having these traumatic situations, I have realized that this is not me which I'm facing. There is something else. So then I have started to think, what I have learned through meditation, this is what I need to come out. There is no one who will help us to come out of the depression. No one will understand. No one can understand what an each person is going, because our thoughts are limited to ourselves, and we don't know sometimes how to even express so nicely. So during that time, I just sat in a corner and I was thinking like, okay, Neelima, what are you doing? What is going through? And then I started to say to myself that everything is good, everything is normal. So my brain again needs to start functioning. It's like, as I said, in that depression state, I even started to forget the names of the people around me, apart from the family, I have to say. So in that state, imagine my brain has been completely devastated, like it's not functioning at all. is not functioning totally. At the time, the best part is, since my parents are also in meditation, they started to encourage me. They started to speak to me in a very nice, positive way. They started to make my environment so positive, and they started to speak only the positive things which are happening around me. Like if something good is happening, we used to discuss only the good things at home. We used to discuss how the brain patterns will be triggered if we are hearing the news, or if we are watching the movies, how the brain patterns are getting triggered. And that's how where I stopped myself, and I thought, okay, there is something to do with my brain now. There is something that I need to think. That's how I have started. And that's how I started again in Vijayawada with a small real estate job, because I know that I cannot think, even if I go for a higher job of software, which I did masters, I cannot, I will be a failure, because I know that my brain is not working. So since taking such a long step, I started to take baby steps once again. So from the real estate job, I started to, work little by little. And every step I progress, I was appreciating myself that I have done something good. So what I'm trying to say is, there is time that everyone will come out. But what the thing that we also need to think is, at that time, because of the society patterns, I got lost. I got completely lost of what kind of person I am, because I'm seeing so many people who have cheated in the sense, like they took money, they just gone away, like no response from them. And people who are like, we think that we are the good people, but we don't know how the opposite people is. We our mind will be getting affected. So all those kind of patterns have triggered me a lot, where I lost trust in people. Although like I'm doing meditation from 2004, with all these kind of things, I lost trust in people, and I stopped speaking to everyone. So what I'm trying to say is, like, we need to understand what kind of person we are. When I stopped to trust people, somewhere internally I was not feeling happy at all, because I came to know after a certain period of time that this is not myself. People were saying that we should not trust anyone, but maybe we should not trust anyone. But what I am is the most important. I'm that kind-hearted person. I like to mingle with the people who always speaks positive. I like to speak with people, who encourage each and everyone to do the things. For example, if you want to get motivated, how you'll be getting? You have to choose the positive environment. You have to trust people. That's the essence of humanity. So somewhere when this has been lost, I figured out, okay, there is something beyond, which where we need to really know what we are as a person, because we should not be carried away by the society impressions or something. So that's where this meditation has helped me a lot. So that's where, instead of the outer people, I started to interact with the people who were doing meditation. So that's how slowly my mind is becoming activated, and my practice has been attenuated a lot. And that's where I figured out. So it's not like our true self is not something, coming from the society patterns or the world patterns. It is what we feed to our thought system, what our thought system is, how our thought system is feeling good, and how our soul is being purified with all these kind of things that are going around us, which means the experience is what that matters a lot. And experiences are the true self, which occur all the time. So these experiences, when I started speaking, when I started to come out, these had made me feel like very easy, very calm, very centered, and very peaceful. I just came to understand my capability once again. And this is what consciously I understood now, what kind of a person I am. So this is what everyone has to know about yourself. You love to do arts, you love to do some painting, just do it. and without losing the authenticity of yourself. You need to know how your brain is being affected by the society conditioning. There are again two types of conditioning where the society brings us, and even the subconscious conditioning gives us. Society conditions are like, for example, let's say we are raised in India, for example, and in the Indian society, we know, okay, a girl has to behave like this, we need to behave like this, and we need to, if you want to be a good person, you have to go to temples, you have to be a very nice lady, you have to put all the bindi and all, you have to obey all the principles. But that's the society condition, but that's not what people has to think as a person. People has to give respect to you of how you speak and how you behave and of what kind of heart you have. That's the most important. And the second thing is there is subconscious conditioning, which is coming from the parents. As I said earlier, that for example, when we are going to school, we only need to get the first rank. That's how our conditioning has become. If we are studying, we always need to be the first. If we are doing the job, oh my God, I need to be the best or the best person. But is it that really? Imagine that these kind of things we cannot differentiate because our mind do not know, because these are the patterns that has been programmed since several ages. Imagine how many years we have been conditioned with all these kind of patterns. But is this again what you call your true self? Absolutely not. There is something beyond the wheel. There is something beyond, which is like where we need to trigger our mind. In order to trigger our mind, the first thing is that we need to meditate, because by doing meditation we will be understanding what our subconscious or what our higher self is all about. For example, I speak to trees. Do you think as a normal human speaking with trees, do they think that what kind of person are you? This is the first thing which they will be saying. But in spirituality, that we came to know, or we understand that everything reacts, everything has an energy. This is what we will be knowing. This is what we know through meditation. That's why it is very important for us to meditate in order to understand our true essence. And that's where we need to get connected to our higher self. And because it's just not connecting to our higher self, it's about something that we deepen ourselves, we root, we will get connected to our roots by intuition, because intuition is something, or the sixth sense, I have to say, where these are the natural capabilities every human has. Every human is having these kind of capabilities. But as I said, according to the condition, we are somewhere lost. But in order to regain, because every person needs to follow their intuition. It's not something the solutions are being sought outside world. It's something, the solutions are somewhere that we see in the inside world. And that's where our intuition has to work, which direction we are going and what is the right path. For example, me coming to Germany, I mean, I really have to say that I have applied to several countries, and my intuition has guided me that Germany is the best place that where my work is involved. And that's what I have did. And even if I wanted to go to India, my intuition will be telling me if I want to book the flight ticket or not, this time is the good time or not. Even the smallest of the smallest things, it's not about the spirituality, but your daily course. Even in your daily course, you have to follow your intuition. You have to maintain your insight. You have to know what kind of a person you truly are, what you love doing. These are what all required. And even though an experience of the true self is normal or natural, it is transient, coming on its own way. So the more practical answer is that your other cells are constantly competing with it. And do we have really our other cells? Yes, we have many kind of other cells. And when someone says, I just want to be myself or be the best version of myself that I can be, the meaning is so complicated by the fact that you have different kinds of selves. You call on each self and transition smoothly from one to another according to the situation. And once you start paying attention to this, you'll be seeing how the process actually works. Imagine yourself talking to a doctor or your boss at work, which requires restraint, respect, courtesy, and the setting aside of private feelings, like which means we have to put all our private feelings, and we have to only speak with the doctor or boss only with respect, courtesy. This is called the social self. And now imagine that you come out of this social self and you go home and you're complaining about your day. And this is called your private self. And this private self is reserved for the situations where you feel safe and where you have to listen to. And there is also an unconscious self where you bury your deepest fears, traumas, and wounded memories. This is what, as I have said in the beginning, that to come back to my true self, I took almost 2 years, because that is the most deepest thing that I got affected. So please, friends, never have any fears, always trust in yourself, and never hurt anyone by degrading on your comments, by statements. This is the first thing that we learn in meditation, that we have to respect each and everyone, because we cannot judge the other person. We cannot know what the other person is going. Although they can be able to speak, we don't know how their thought patterns are going, what kind of thoughts are running in their mind. So this is why truly we should not judge anyone. Judgment has to be stopped right away, right from the beginning. Especially for kids, this is what a mother has to train the kids as well. That judgment should not be stopped. I mean, even the mothers always will be telling to their kids that just see your friend, he is getting the first rank, why don't you? See, this kind of judgment starts right from the beginning. These are the things what we have to understand, and the judgment have to be stopped even from the right age, young age. And the proper discipline is required in order to do all this kind of, I mean, in order to figure out our deepest fears also, we need to have that self-discipline to understand our fears, what are our traumas and what are our wounded memories. And for this, you really need to be alone at sometimes, because we are having a busy days almost every day. And imagine if we don't sit alone, and if we don't self-analyze, or if we don't, the biggest critic to ourselves is always us. So we have to always analyze what is going on after coming to home each day. And that's how we will be understanding what are our fears, what are our traumas, and what are our wounded memories are. And we need to know that how these wounds needs to be healed. And that's how we need to catch the proper persons. And especially we can share also these wounds with a person who do not judge. Again, it's a vicious circle. It's not something that we can go and easily explain to people that, hey, I have this problem. No, you should not, you should never say your problems to anyone unless or until they stop all the judgments. This is the most important for your soul to evolve, because otherwise, the decisions, or you cannot think properly. This is why it is always important to have the positive minded people in our life. That's where our journey begins, I have to say. And that's where we need to realize. So for all the fears, for all the traumas, just be alone. Just think what kind of person you are and try to put it on a paper. And when you put on the paper, and after that, when you meditate, your subconscious will be guiding you how you can come out of each and every situation. You have your self-conscious. So for some people, the what I can say is, for some people, thoughts will be coming by another people, which means a guidance will be coming in the form of another people, or in the form of intuitions, or your dreams also will be guiding you to come out of the situations. So we need to be that aware how we can come out of it. So when those words come out, we need to understand, oh yeah, this message is meant for me. We need to understand that. We really need to understand, which means we really need to be sensible. And in order to be sensible, it's again the circle. We have to meditate. That's the only essence. And being a mature adult requires you to know which self is appropriate in a given situation. As I said before, there are the social self, there are the private self, and there is the unconscious self. So for an adult, we need to understand what is a what kind of self we are in according to the given situation. Some people can never overcome their child or adolescent self, which makes it nearly impossible for them to control their impulses. Needless to say, this results in awkward situations when their impulses are inappropriate. But if you try to be absolutely self-disciplined, it comes at a cost of shutting down your spontaneous side, and that's where you truly will be knowing yourself. So, friends, I would say let's do meditation for 5 minutes and just take time to understand if you have any fears or if you have any traumatic situations. Just think of it now, and let's do meditation for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we carry forward with the session again. Yes, so I'll be playing the music, friends, and please remove your spectacles if you're having. And yeah.
Can you guide us how to sit for meditation?
Yes. Yeah. So, friends, please remove your spectacles if you're having, and sit in a comfortable posture, and try to sit in a posture where you are always comfortable. Cross your hands, cross your legs, and clasp your hands. Close your eyes and only concentrate on the breath. Only on the breath of how you inhale and how you exhale. As a Patri sir says, and as the Buddha says, the breath is our own guru. We are living in this body, and let's be grateful. It's very important to declutter yourself in meditation. Absolutely no thoughts, and you can only go to the thoughtless state by concentrating on your inhale and exhale. Take a deep breath and release. Just only observe the natural, easy process. Have a little smile on your face so that your process is so easy and you are enjoying this meditation. We only have the moment now. So now the best moment. Embrace it. Let us go deeper and deeper. just only need to concentrate on our breath. Last 10 seconds, friends. Slowly come back. Very slowly. And put your hands on your eyes. And remove your hands and open your eyes when you are ready. So welcome back, friends. That's a wonderful meditation. There is lot of energies. Thanks for everyone for joining this group meditation. So let us start our session once again. Yeah. So this is how we always need to release our fears if we have. We only need to trust our higher self. Our higher self is always taking care of ourselves. We just only need to trust. There is nothing that we can do in this beautiful world. There is that beautiful essence which is always seeking for us. There are always our guides who are always there to help. We just only need to ask the right questions in the right time. That's only our purpose is. And we always get answers if we are a bit aware of our surroundings. So yeah. So let us now discuss about where your true self stands apart. So the one thing that makes the true self so rewarding is that it doesn't have any agenda as we humans always do. The other selves always have. You may be spending your days fulfilling your desires, obeying your whims or impulses, meeting your duties and demands of an organized working life. And this organized working life for us is to is to feel the safe and secure. No matter who we are, our mind is always occupied with with our social, private, and subconscious self, to which we can always add our old conditioning and memories, where all these memories are getting accumulated from the past experiences. So somewhere these past experiences are always stopping us in order to go forward. So somewhere we need to think, we need to restart ourselves, we need to declutter our thoughts. We always need to think of this monkey mind, because this is where everything comes from. The whole system, it's very complex, and each person is is very unique. And only the true self, which is our true identity or the soul, stands apart. It is not involved in the everyday business of I'm going to this, I'm doing that, I'm doing me, or this property belongs to me, this is mine, this is my cup, this is my time. There is nothing for the true self. It is not involved in the everyday business of I, me, mine, or the story that we build around us. And it isn't involved in the old conditioning and memories or in habits. This true self is not involved in the habits or the fears or the beliefs or the memories. Our old conditioning has to be dropped, and this detachment from our other self is the main reason that higher consciousness is described as liberation. That we are like between, we are somewhere stuck between the pleasure and pain, the duty and the desire, the fulfillment and the frustration. And we have to know that our other selves were born in the world of opposites or in duality. In every person there is this dual nature, and as long as we inhabit this other self, A constant pull is there between our society impact and the nature of life. The true self exposes us to another kind of life. And as meditation practice, we practice a lot of meditation. The more we get connected to ourselves, and the more the other self, like as I discussed before, the private and the subconscious self will begins to lessen. And the mind has its source in the pure consciousness. And once you are settled in that pure state, the self automatically identify what is your true self. These are the these are the grade levels. These are the grades of how we experience. And we can expect the glimpses of our true self to become more deeper, more frequent, and more lasting. And this is what we always need to think. We always need to be in the state of that miraculous situation. We have to welcome that miraculous state. And this is our evolution, which will be experienced almost all the time, and we will be happy. And we have to establish this in our pure consciousness. So every step along this is rewarding, because there is some charm that we brings to our life by silently observing what we are feeding to our thoughts, which means we feel more safe. We feel more centered in ourselves. We know that life has a meaning, and we feel a sense of bliss in every activity we do. And this is the because people have this kind of fear, the fear of death. This will be dropped, and we'll be more loving. We will be having more kindness attitude and empathy towards others, a desire to serve rather than to live only for ourselves. So all these are miraculous. Everyone has got these qualities, even if memory and conditioning have clouded them over, which means we have to remove this cloudiness. And this is the part where we wake up. We wake up in this journey. And the ultimate value of our true self is that when you wake up to who you really are, eventually we have to discover, and that's where we will be constructing the mind. We have to make use of the mind. As I said before, our mind is like literally a monkey mind. We have to know our mind will be playing always the trick of we want to do something, and our thoughts will be saying something else, and our focus will be shifting in another direction. That's not true. We constantly have to put a check on our mind, and that's how we get connected to our true self, friends. And always remember that we are the creators of the whole thing. We are the creators of our life. And the most important part is, for all the traumatic situations, people will be thinking on the temporary solution, which means like death is inevitable, and death is somewhere people gain liberation. But that's not true. We came on this earth to experience, to everyone wants to have different kind of experiences. We have so many lives, and this life is so beautiful that we cannot always cry of what we have faced. We have to be that strong to come out, to understand of what kind of a person we truly are. No, we have to be that giving. If we give, we get lot of love. If we share our knowledge, we'll be knowing lot of knowledge. And when we die someday, knowledge is something that we take. We don't take all the worldly pleasures with us, not even a penny. But the knowledge and the experiences we gain in this life is somewhat where we'll be taking to the next life also. It's not only about the next life. Even in this life, our experiences are our true teachers, I have to say. And this is what our Patri sir always continuously says: experience and have that beautiful enjoyment, have that taste, enjoy your every moment. And that's the more essence that you can bring to yourself. If you can't enjoy with yourself when you're alone, then how can we enjoy with other person? Which means If another person is there, we are subconsciously thinking that our happiness depends on others. No, our happiness always depends on us. And if we don't know how to be happy, forget about being with other people, because you can never be happy with other people. And that's where we have to know what we wanted to do, what our habits. For example, if you want to do painting, just do and find out the happiness, enjoy each and every moment, and observe where your thoughts are getting affected, and try to come out of the negative patterns or the negative mindset people, or the people who debates. Only choose the positive environment. I really have to say, the positive environment is the one which really helps us a lot. And this is the most important aspect that everyone has to think. And that's why I said, like, we are the creators of everything. Maybe all this time we were subconsciously just only speaking to everyone which we know, but give a glimpse or give an effort of choosing the right people. Even though, for example, your best friends, even though they are your best friends, and if they always have the negative patterns, drop them. You have to ditch such kind of people, and you have to be courageous to choose the positive people irrespective of what others are thinking. Because of people who wants to derespect you will always do that. But we are somewhere so beautiful souls that we cannot um, we just have to respect each and every human being, and that's what we are as a person. And this respect comes to us when you get connected to your higher self. Have you ever thought that in the mother's hug we'll be feeling that safe? Have you guys ever did that? Have you hugged your subconscious self? You know how much you'll be feeling more safe when you hug your subconscious. You have your higher self. Everyone has your higher self. Now, sometimes just be alone and just hug yourself. That's it. That's where you get connected. That's the most important. And that's the, that's where you are giving time to yourself to uh, to cheer up yourself. And that's what it is more important. And including your body is a temple. Always feed your body with a nice thoughts and nice food, which is more important. And a healthy mind is more important anytime. And we have to be we have to be in that approaching state. This is where what it is more important. And we not only choose our thoughts and feelings, like we have to be in that. And that's where we'll be getting our true identity. So friends, thank you so much. Thank you all for listening. So if you have any question and answers, we will go through it. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Neelima. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you so much, Lavanya.
And the meditation was also good. And the concept which you said that, like, if something is bothering, you have a glimpse of it, then sit into meditation, it will guide you. Yes, it definitely works. Yes. And thank you for giving this wonderful a tip. I could say that, in our daily lives, we come across some of the other things. So whenever we have that, you can just put it across and then sit into meditation. Yes.
Yes.
Guide us. And it's a beautiful a tip actually, which will help us.
Thank you so much, Lavanya. Thank you so much. And thank you, MS. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, you have summarized it so beautiful as well. Yes. I don't think there is any other state or can be. There maybe there might be. I just said only what I have known. I like the social or the personal or the unconscious. Maybe there might be. Yes. Yeah. These are my experiences which I have observed and I just shared. Yeah. So any other questions, my dear friends?
So, Neelima, so let me ask a few questions when keeping my audience in my mind. So when you were in a depression state, So how did you overcome? I mean, I know you've just told us like you were surrounded by the positive people and you are able to, you are listening only the positive things. Suppose like, I mean, in everywhere we can't expect the similar kind of situation. So if you are alone and if you're not surrounded by those kind of people and you can't leave them because they are your family. So what would be your suggestion, like what kind of things which we can do as an individual rather than expecting from others to keep ourselves motivated and to come out of this kind of situation?
So let me explain once again my process as well. So the first thing, more than my parents, I have to say, I started accepting myself that I am depressed. I started accepting myself that there is something going on in me, and there is something in the others in the society where I need that job. Why can't I get that? I need the money. This kind of things. I said to myself, like, I have to stop fighting. I have to stop fighting because I need to know, I need to get out of my pain first. Because somewhere subconsciously, I was always fighting. I was comparing with my friends. Everyone got the job. Why didn't I? Why am I in this state? Why the people around me are like this? So I stopped comparing with others. And I started to compare to myself. And I started to understand what I am before depression. And that's where I started to compare and try to come out of each step. So when we know what is happening, we'll find out who the right people in front of us are, whom to speak, who will be giving the right advice. And sometimes people will be scolding us. And even the scoldings, we will be understanding whether a person is really scolding us with authority, or is the person scolding with love. This is where we understand these two conflict state, and we have to choose the love state. The love is the ultimate, and we have to start loving ourselves. That's where we'll be coming. That is the first step, I have to say, to come out of the depression. When we realize what is happening, what is going on, you don't even know why the depression has started. You don't even need to know, because sometimes the logic mind will never understand what is happening. For me, my depression state, I truly do not know why it has came, and I don't even want it to question. I only just started to believe, okay, I am depressed. What is the next step that I have to do? And that's where my journey began. And that's where, after doing masters, I really have to say, all of my friends job is in, like, they were in manager state and everything, and I was at zero, because I can't compete with them. I can't compete in terms of salary. I can't compete in terms of the position. And I came to know what I am, because I need to work on myself. I started with real estate just for 10,000 rupees in the Vijayawada. And you know what? It gave me immense happiness. Even the 10,000 rupees, it's not about the money. It's about how I am coming out of that depressed state. Is giving me gave me a lot of happiness. So this is how, you need to be aware of your situation. And yes, you need to know how you truly have to choose your positive environment. That's where it really helps. And luckily, as I said, my parents are in meditation state, meditative. So that's why they are always ever encouraging. They never said to myself, you're depressed and why do you have to be? They never involved. When I was locked in the room, they just said, okay, be in your state. If this gives you happiness, just be in it. They never involved. They only encouraged. And that's how as I said, I'm lucky to have such a good environment, but sometimes not everyone will be that lucky. But we need to start expressing ourselves little by little, that somewhere we are getting affected. And we need to start expressing, we need to start sharing. And we need to make the other people understand that something is going on in us, at least with a few hints. Definitely, there will be some people who are always understand and who will be giving the right hand. But more than the other people, you will be the first hand to cure yourself. Yes.
Onto that, Neelima. So, how do you love yourself? I mean, in these situations, I mean, what kind of things would you do? In terms to express yourself for yourself that you love yourself, because in those situations it's not easy to love
Yes.
yourself. Like it's a big thing to love yourself is a big thing. So how, I mean, what kind of things which anyone can do to love themselves? Yeah.
No, I mean, as I said, everything is like a mixed kind of state. We don't even know, example, we don't want to get hurt by any comments, right? Which means we are obviously loving ourselves. So, and if we wanted to be in that, if we want to come out, as I said, we have to choose that positive state. And when we are choosing our positive state, that is indirectly we are loving ourselves, because that's how we are choosing ourselves. And no one wants to get hurt. Everyone. The first thing is we have to respect ourselves, and we never all the time. What I have done before is I was always disrespectful to myself. Although we are the best critics to ourselves, we need to know what we are. For example, a person in a minute can read 10 pages of 10 pages maybe, but as a person you are, if you love yourself, just be true. That's the only thing that you can do. It's not like loving in the sense where we seek outside or something. It's just about knowing our true identity. Maybe in the 1 minute you read only 10 lines, whereas other read 10 pages, and just stop comparing. These are the smallest of the smallest things where no one guides us, no one can understand, but we as a person, we have to know what kind of person we are. That's the most important essence. And for example, I have two pets at my home. So I always play with them, and they are the best for me to come out of the depression state. I can't say to others that please raise pets all the time, as they are your best companies, but just do some kind of activity which is more meaningful, like raise some plants. It's the easiest thing that you can do at home. Raise your plants, try to speak with it. No, there is some purity in that, and try to identify those pure being things, the pure things that where you find your happiness. The happiness always lies in the smallest of the smallest things, where we need to identify. If you want to paint, just go and paint. If you want to go for a walk, go for a walk. And never be at home, mingle with people, and go on do debates. Never do that. And try to be yourself, like by coming out of the zone. That is where again we start loving ourselves. And try to sit alone. Sometimes by being alone, we will be understanding what our mind, what we have done on the whole day. That is what more important is. Yes.
Thank you, Neelima. So let us, it's a wonderful, I mean, actually a takeaway for us. It's like stop comparing is the first thing which we need to do, that so that it eliminates most of the problem, because when we compare ourselves, that's a good thing. So let me just see, there's a few chats.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Lavanya. I was about to ask the same question. I know that many people are stuck in those traumatic situations. Can you help with a simple routine that can be followed that can help them come out of a situation?
I think we have discussed this one. Yeah.
From Chandana, thank you, Neelima and Lavanya. It was a good to know that we have different states of ourselves.
Thank you, Chandana.
Yeah. For beginners starting with meditation, what is your advice? A workable daily routine with respect to meditation.
Yeah. So for beginners, why the meditation is so important, as I said, since I was doing this meditation right from childhood, it was so easy for me to come out. And the meditation really helps you to think what kind of a person you are, how your thought patterns are. This is the most, and Example, let's say you're very busy in your day-to-day life, but do you stop eating? No, right? We don't stop. And we will do the shower like that every day. We also need to focus on our mind. We also need to know how our thought patterns are. And this is why meditation is more required for us to know initially how our mind, how we are progressing. It's not somewhere, if we meditate, we'll be getting such kind of experiences, we'll be doing the astral travel, we'll be knowing the life. It's not about that. The beginning is always the small step. It's always this life. We always start with this moment. Now is the only thing we have. Now, always now. And to find that now state, to be in that now, the meditation is the most core essence that we get connected to the now. And this is where the life starts, in the now. If you understand always the now, you will understand the essence of life. And if in order to understand this now, meditation is more required. Meditation is the only thing that is required. If you can't do half an hour, just divide that half an hour for 10 minutes in like 3 sessions in a day. Do 10 minutes in morning, do 10 minutes in afternoon, and in the evening. Divide it, but never stop doing meditation. That's the best thing. That's the best thing you can do. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, MS. And knowing our true self, people will forget their true self because of the environment. That's what I have discussed. This is what is more required. People will always forget the environments. As I said, even our dreams will be impacted by our environment. And this is the reason why it is more important to choose the positive people in our life. I have read a book where Jesus and Buddha lived together, met together. I don't remember the exact name, but it's about Jesus and Buddha. And the author name is Greg Baden. Although he's an famous coach and meditator, although he's so good, he have given so many lessons. Once he had been to China. And since there is a lot of population, he went to a village where he went to take the session where so many of his patients are traumatic. They were traumatic. And after taking the session, he went to the room and he slept. And he got the nightmares. And this kind of pattern repeated until the week. And when he finally went back to US, his state was so calm. And that's where he realized that even the dream state or the nightmares, we will be getting affected by our communities without knowing. This is the most essence. This is where we have to realize. Every person needs to realize. Yeah. And this comes with the awareness of meditation. As I said, meditation is the true essence of everything. Even you get affected, you don't even realize at that time, but after some time you go and you sit and do meditation, you will be getting to know, you will understand that yourself, you got affected, and you will be knowing that you're the cue to yourself. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we can't stop. And that's where karma, all the concepts are, this is a huge concept. As I said, sometimes we can't stop, but the thing is, we know how to come out of the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Friends, do you let me know if you have any more questions. Please, you can raise your hand, or you can use the chat for your questions. Neelima, so in the meantime, let me use the time. So for the beginners, when they do meditation, so they have this kind of fear. So what do we need to, how do you say that, how one can overcome their fear for doing meditation? Because when they sit for meditation, they feel like, because when we close our eyes, especially, in the starting, in the beginning phase, we feel like, okay, I mean, if no one is there at home, and you see, like, you will be able to hear many sounds, which because we are conscious that time, and we feel scared to do meditation, to continue meditation. So what would you suggest? Do we need to continue our meditation till the, I mean, suppose we have put the timer till the timer goes on, or can we open our eyes and check it, or like what's, yeah, I need your because our the audience are like, we are in the beginning state. So these are the general questions which come across. So I want the clarity.
Yes, yes. Actually, that's a beautiful question. Even sometimes I will be exploring myself, my fears. So, fear is always with us all the time. That I have to say, fear is our teacher. So I will be saying this example. When we are in the womb of mother, do we feel fear? Because it's like completely dark inside. We don't even know the world. And do we feel that fear? No, right? We feel absolutely safe because we are in the mother's womb, which means someone is protecting us. Now, this kind of sense is always being developed right from the childhood. At the moment we come out of the mother's womb, we start crying because it's a new society. So, which means this kind of uh, new thing, getting adapted to new thing, is always a fearful for every person. Imagine after being at home in the LKG or UKG or kindergarten, you start going outside, and you will be always saying, "No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And your parents will be coming and giving the chocolates. Hey, if you go, I'll be giving the chocolate. Or the school is so good, and that's how we are somewhat dependent on others. But what if we nurture ourselves? Like, if a fear is there, if darkness is our fear, why don't we nurture ourselves? Okay, the darkness is there. Is this really dark, or something is happening? Why don't we always nurture ourselves? I have to say, if we start nurturing ourselves, then the fears, the smallest fears, at least, I'm not saying, for example, some people don't know swimming. I don't say like, go and stop your fear and drown in the water. That's not something that you have to do. The smallest fears, by, okay, if you have the fear of darkness, lit a small candle and just be aware and just sit in meditation. There are always cures and there are always remedies. But this is what we need to understand, and this is what we need to nurture. Nurturing is the most important thing that we always forget to do. But that's where the first step starts. That's where the initial starts. Yes. And meditation is not something, again, meditation is nothing but common sense, putting common sense. So if something is going to happen, if you have that intuition, for example, policemen are coming to my home, I had that strong intuition. It's the fear. Yes, of course, I do feel that fear. It's fine. But, we cannot control all our situation. But the only thing is, with meditation, we try to be in that positive state, and we try to be that calm and composed as much as possible. And that's where our inner composure reflects to others. And that's where even other person's thoughts will be changed after seeing our subtle state. So that's where it's more important to identify what kind of fears you are having. And just, if it is small and simple, you just only need to nurture yourself and, keep going. And also, the fear is something important. I have to say, it depends on the person. For example, a person like Osho, he went to the riverside and he sat near the river all the night. Can you imagine a normal person can do that? No, absolutely. But do we think that we don't have that capability? We have that ability to go and sit along the riverside. We do have that, but we don't try. So it really depends on the person to person. So just think of what kind of person, as I said, we always need to have an idea of what kind of person we are and how do we have to deal. Yeah.
Thanks, Neelima. It's really good, a good information. So what's there this chat? Yeah. I think they have got the clarity on what you have said in the previous chat. There's one more question. Do you have a list of questions to ask ourselves? They can reveal our real personality. Can you share the name of the books you referred about Jesus and Buddha and the others?
Yeah, this is one book where everyone has to know. I mean, you know what? It's about, in most of the statements, we catch that fine statements, we catch the fine elements. So among the book, you have to be observing where this point is. It will be in 100, in 200 page, you know, in the small line. So every book, I would say, in the pyramid spiritual societies we have is more. But I have to say, yeah, I think the best book for fears is read the Sitaina book. Sitaina is the best book where, you know, you will be loving yourself. You will be even know how to love yourself. Sitaina is like, in English, it's the untold story of Sita, written by Dina Mariam. That's the best book which I have learned in recent times. And this Lifetimes Where Jesus and Buddha Met Together by Gary Richard. This is another book. And one of the best book to inspire, to motivate is Jonathan Livingston Seagull. That is the best book. That is the best one to read. So like that, there are so many books. There are so many kind of books. In the recent times, I think I have to say even this, the Lakshmi consciousness. I don't know who the author is. Well, I think I have the book too. I'm so sorry. A Thousand Seas of Joy. Yes, you see, by Ananda Karunesh. This is also one of the best book. You know, just start reading. Just start reading. In the initial days, I was not a book reader. I was always reluctant to read. But there is lot of knowledge in the books. There is immense of knowledge. If you feel the book itself, you know, you will be feeling that vibration. And the books are the best teachers that one can ever have. Always meditate, and your experiences are your best teachers. And along with the experiences, the books are again the best teachers. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I have to agree. Yes, the books are really, I mean, they are best teachers. If you have any questions, sometimes if you open a book, your answers are there.
Yes. And thank you, MS, for asking such a wonderful questions. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes my intuitions also guide me. These are the books that I got an intuition in the message. This is like Teachings from the Sacred Triangle. No, I had got a message in meditation, and that's how I bought these books. But don't ask me what kind of essence is there in this book, because I haven't still learned this. But as I said, you need to be that aware. I mean, you will be that aware state if you meditate. And that's the reason why meditation is more important, to bring you that awareness. Yeah. Yeah.
I think those are the questions. And thank you, Neelima. Thank you so much. I mean, even though it's a late night over there, I mean, you have such a passionate energy, and the passion which you have, it's like you have a beautiful smile. And the session went very well. And I guess most of our questions are answered. I hope our audience, our friends, do not have any more questions. So I wish we get more sessions from you in future.
Thank you so much, Lavanya. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Padma Aunty, for inviting me, for suggesting me to take a session. I have to say, I mean, the first thanks to Brahmarshi Patriji. because he's our all guru. He's the guru. Because of him, we are all here connected together. And thanks to you, Lavanya, you are such a beautiful host. And you made me feel relaxed. That's how my flow is also so easy to speak. And thank you so much. And thank you, MS, for always asking the right questions. Thank you, Chandana, and everyone. Thank you all. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Neelima. Thank you once again from the bottom of heart and from PSSM Australia.